But TVC News at 7 and the TVC News at 10 are not like any other news broadcast.
It's the big news hour, the hour for the big breaking stories.
We've got some of the best reporters on the field.
Taking you through as it happens.
It's fast-paced, hard-hitting.
With investigations that matter.
Bringing the news that affects your life.
With sport, entertainment, and business news so you don't miss a thing.
Experience resourceful coverage with depth.
Ever. Stay ahead with the biggest news stories. Go beyond the news headlines. Experience impactful investigations. Enjoy resourceful news coverage in real time. TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. Live every day on this channel. TVC News. First with breaking news.
Hello and welcome to the midweek edition of Journalist Hangout. I am Esther Mopariola. Today on the program, President Tinubu tasked citizens on unity in nation building as the world marks Eid-el-Fitri. In our Journalist Hangout midweek special, Emohua Council Chairman in Rivers State, Chidi Lloyd, inaugurates projects to mark 3 years in office. And later on the show, Super Falcons play goalless with South Africa's Bayana qualify for the Olympics. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Chris Kehinde Wandu. Journalist Hangout starts now. Now let's begin with the Eid-el-Fitri celebrations, which marks the end of 1 month Ramadan fast. As Muslims all over the world celebrate the festival, President Bola Tinubu has reminded citizens of the need for unity and peaceful coexistence. In his solemn message, President Tinubu appealed to citizens to come together and rededicate themselves to the noble duty of building the nation. Let's share the story of Eid-el-Fitri celebration in Lagos with you.
Security is expected to be watertight anywhere the president visits. The joint security forces are not taking anything to chance at the Dodon Barracks Eid ground, where President Bola Tinubu is expected to pray.
La ilaha illallah,
Holy Prophet of Islam, peace be upon him, says attending the Eid prayers and joining in the supplications are blessed act of virtue. The president is accompanied by top government functionaries.
Eid-el-Fitri is a spiritual celebration of Allah's provision of strength and endurance for the Muslim faithful to fast for 29 to 30 days from dawn till dusk, engaged more in spiritual activities like the Taraweeh, the evening prayer, Tahajjud, night vigil, Zakat and Sadaqah charity. Some spent the last 10 days of Ramadan or even the whole month in itikaf, seclusion. Others left for Umrah, for the lesser Hajj, to circumambulate the Holy Kaaba, all to seek the mercy of Allah. On a day like this, Muslims the world over will converge on Eid grounds to mark the end of the holy month of Ramadan with a 2-unit congregational prayer.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
The raising of hands to say additional takbir, Allahu Akbar, God is the greatest, than the usual is part of the practices that make Eid prayers unique.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
In his sermon, the chief imam of Lagos, Sheikh Sulaiman Abunola, wants Nigerians to believe in the country and the President Tinubu's development agenda.
We call upon the government at all levels to provide more palliatives to alleviate the plight of our people. Do not lose hope in Allah's blessing. As people, don't let us lose hope Let us have faith in our nation. Let us believe in our nation.
We should sustain that good behavior, even though Ramadan is gone. As Muslims, we must show empathy to fellow Muslims, Christians, non-believers. It's not for us to judge.
For Mr. President, the kind of endurance the Muslim faithful had during the month of Ramadan should be emulated by all Nigerians and preserved for the country.
Be kind and be cheerful giver. Love our country better than any other country. That's the only one that we have. And we must continue to protect the integrity of our government and leadership. The new hope is alive, well and fine, and Nigerians will continue to be very hopeful. Without hope, there's no salvation. Without hope, there's no development. Without hope, there's no life.
Fasting during the holy month of Ramadan is the fourth pillar of Islam. Adidoja Salamadini, TVC News, Lagos.
Right, and Ramadan has ended, a period of fasting, reflection, and spiritual renewal, and now it's time to celebrate for the Muslim faithful. BKO, your thoughts on the positions taken by the President and, of course, the Deputy Governor of Lagos State on how best to, the significance of the celebration of Eid-el-Fitri. Your thoughts?
Yeah, you heard what the Deputy Governor said, that we should not go back to our old ways, that we should sustain the spirit of the Ramadan festival, spirit of generosity,
right,
chastity, brushing aside our sinful lives to embrace holiness and fear of God. Somebody called me today and said, "Jide, don't go out today. Oh. The way people will drink today, some of them will drive recklessly and it could be dangerous." And I'm like, if you kept yourself holy throughout the holy month of Ramadan, it makes sense to continue. Yes, right. That's the whole idea. It's not to go back to the old ways. Drink all the beer that you couldn't drink in 1 month. You want to consume everything in 1 day because the fasting has ended. All the shina that you didn't do during the holy month of Ramadan. Fasting has ended. You alone, you want to minister to 3 women at a time. It is not desirable.
Right.
It makes no sense. And I'm happy that even the president said, look, let's use this opportunity to reunite and rededicate ourselves to our country. And he said something, and I quote, "You are the sculptor and Nigeria is the clay. We build it the way we desire." So that's like saying, look, we all have a part to play in making Nigeria great. If we want it to be great, it will be great. So let's focus on taking Nigeria to the next level.
Absolutely. I can't agree any more or less on that position. CKN, we need to take Nigeria to the next level. And now the Muslims have celebrated, Eid-el-Fitri after 1 month of Ramadan, the fasting period. Your thoughts on this?
Yes, let me use this opportunity first and foremost to wish my 82-year-old mother, Barika de Salah. She's a Muslim. She's celebrating. So I wish Alaja Barika de Salah, as it were. Yes, this brings me to what a former president of the United States once said. He said, think of what you can do for your country and not what your country can do for you. I think it's J.F. Kennedy that said that. I can't remember. And that is true. And if you listen to what the president said and the deputy governor of Lagos State said, it resonates with me. And everyone has a part to play. My only a bit worry is the where Jide has to start emphasizing on Shino. What has where Jide has
their ears
are wide like this. What they miss in the past, they want to take 3 leaps at the time. So, but on a more serious note, it is a time for the education. I just hope, and you know why this is a bit symbolic for me is that it's just coming barely just about a week or 2 after we finish the Easter, after the Christians finish their own fasting as well.
Yeah.
So it is not mere coincidence. God has a way of doing his things. So I hope that our people will be able to rededicate themselves, not only in their lives, their way of lives, but also the way of God, as well as the country, because I always say time and time, is the way, whatever, there's a Yoruba saying that is the name that you call your child that it will bear. If every day you continue to curse your country, this country is useless, it's going to be. The words of man is just the words of God that to some extent. So we continue to, not only on the part of the people who do their part, but our leaders too. Let our leaders also rededicate themselves. Because it's easier say to tell the other Nigeria, dedicate yourself, be patriotic, be this. Let our leaders also show leadership.
Right.
Let them be sympathetic to the plight of the poor. So you understand what I mean? So that at the end of it, we don't have another country. Even if you have 2 passports, this is your primary country. If you go to America, this is where everybody in your family cannot go and stay in America. They cannot stay in UK. This is Nigeria. So to all our brothers and sisters in Islam, Barika de Salah. And apart from that, they've given them extra one day holiday again.
Tomorrow,
so Baji continues.
Let them just
stay focused.
Let them moderate.
Moderation.
Not trying to do all of what you have missed in
1 month.
Yeah.
All right, let's quickly move on to our next issue of discussion, where according to the Canadian-American actor and producer Ryan Reynolds, any kind of crisis can be good. It wakes you up, apparently. Concerned by the chaos that has rocked the Labour Party, some stakeholders have decided to come up with solutions. This time, the Political Commission of the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, and some party chieftains are calling for a fresh national convention. Meanwhile, the outcome of the national convention held in Nnewi, Anambra State, has caused more fireworks between the party and NLC. The outcome of the convention has been discarded. Even the leadership that emerged from the exercise has been disregarded. And this coming days will be interesting. Our correspondent, Jokedisa, has spawned the story.
The Nigerian workers-based political party is still in crisis, and concerned members are in search of a sustainable solution. Days after it picketed the headquarters of the Labour Party in Abuja, where it declared the party's national chairman, Julius Abure, persona non grata, the Political Commission of the Nigeria Labour Congress brings together leading actors in the party in its quest for a solution. NLC insists the party is an ideological movement with the primary purpose of conscientizing Nigerians on the need to foster good governance and acceptable political leadership. It announces a committee that will midwife a new national convention to produce a replacement for Julius Abure.
I expect that this meeting should set up a transition committee for the purpose of conducting an all-inclusive and expansive national convention of the Labour Party, from what congresses all through to the national convention.
For the party's national leader and presidential candidate in the 2023 elections, Peter Obi, an amicable resolution of all crises is critical to achieving set goals.
One of the particular committees should look very seriously in reconciling all legal issues and eliminating them.
Leading actors here described the crisis rocking the party as unfortunate and inconsistent with the ideals of its founding fathers.
All the major stakeholders here have now agreed to come together to form a union that would rescue our party, reposition our party so that we will become a force to be reckoned with.
Human beings are, synonymous to crisis. And it is also human beings that can make sure that crises are abated. We have said enough is enough. We cannot continue to have a Labour Party where leaders will be transactional.
The Political Commission of the Nigeria Labour Congress hopes to begin mass mobilization of Nigerian workers and other citizens into the Labour Party for the needed numerical strength to gain power in the next political dispensation. Observers say how soon this is achieved remains a matter of conjecture. Joke Edsa, TVC News, Abuja.
BKO, interesting days to come in the NLC and the Labour Party, don't you think?
What some of us have talked about are coming to pass now. I predicted on issues we did 2 weeks ago that Peter Obi will end up teaming up with the NLC on this matter. That is what we have seen. The person who represented him was the same person who complained that what Peter Obi suggested, an all-inclusive congresses leading all the way to the convention, Abure did not agree to do it. And Peter Obi came out to say, look, if we try to change the party and they will not agree, we'll leave the party for them. Now, he has said he's not leaving the party. What they are seeking to do is to take control of the party. I said it repeatedly that the Obedients, they are the largest group within the Labour Party. They see no reason why they should not take control of it. They have the most dominant individual in the party. That is Peter Obi. That is the symbol of the Obedient movement. They have him. They have many supporters. As far as they are concerned, it's an affront for Abure to be holding on to the leadership of the party when they have turned against him. It's like the rule of the minority over the majority.
Right.
I said at that time that what Ajero wants to do, that Peter Obi will align with him in the fullness of time. We are seeing that now. We are seeing that. This meeting, the people who call this meeting are largely the Obedient family, as well as the political wing of the NLC. They call it NLC Political Commission. I prefer to call it the political wing of the Nigerian Labour Congress, because it's not every member of the NLC that's interested in politics. Some are not interested. Even some of the unions that are part of the NLC or even the TUC are not interested in the political side of things. They are just interested in the welfare of workers. So the political wing, which they are calling NLC Political Commission, is working with Obedience to try and take control of the party from Abure. They are fed up with Abure, and it looks like only the law courts can keep him in office. Now they declare that Abure's the convention is illegal to an extent, with the INEC not supervising not witnessing the convention. I think the word supervise is wrong. Not witnessing the election, which is one of the conditions precedent for the convention of a political party to be seen as valid, is for the INEC to be physically present. They were not there. The reason they were not there, we do not know. Did they not get enough notice about the change in venue and time? Perhaps they didn't officially communicate. You know, they had to change 3 times.
Yeah.
Perhaps they didn't officially communicate.
When the final change was made.
Yes. Perhaps they didn't officially do that. Ideally, the big parties, what they do is they nominate somebody who will be interfacing with INEC on the matter of their convention. They need to change. That person will hear quickly so that there won't be any excuse. Because not supervising that convention, why do I keep using the word?
Witnessing.
Not witnessing that
convention
is fatal. In my view, it's legally fatal. Except the Labour Party can prove that it notified them, and they have evidence. Maybe like when a courier person brings something to you, you sign, he takes his own copy, you keep one. If they can prove that INEC had no reason to not attend, then they can get away with that convention. But if they cannot prove it, they will do another convention. And perhaps a new convention would then be what the political wing of the Nigerian Labour Congress and the obedient movement had wanted. You start from the ward level, we have congresses leading up to the convention, which is the biggest decision-making organ of the party. The convention can impeach Abure, but you cannot send him packing with the methods that they are using, picketing Labour Party's office and all that. No. If you continue to do that, in fact, they boasted that they will use the force of law to ensure that you cannot kick him out of office. They've already promised them that. And the law states clearly how you can remove a sitting national chairman of a party.
Right.
So they have to follow
the
due process. But it's clear that they do not even recognize this meeting. Because, let me quote what they said. The Political Commission of the NSC is a front for Comrade Joe Ajero, which he has empowered for the purpose of his political ambition come 2027. The group is unknown to the Labour Party and lacks the power to call a meeting of stakeholders to deliberate, let alone take any decision which will have a binding effect on the legally constituted party leadership. In fact, they call them drama boys. They call those at the meeting. And they went on to say Ajero should focus on the welfare of Nigerian workers or quit as NSC president and become a politician. So it's a I see a long-drawn battle on our hands, and I know that the courts will get involved at some stage. But Abure is sitting on a keg of gunpowder.
CKN, with this situation going on between the Labour Party and the NLC, what is the solution inside?
Well, the solution will also come internally. It's within. For me, Abure is just clinging to a straw, as far as I'm concerned. He has lost ground, as it were. He's standing on a sinking sand. And when he does, he's only a self-centered individual or politician or whatever that cannot read the beat and the beatings. What makes you a leader is not your ability or willingness to show you are all this, you are all that. I remember vividly what happened during the time of Adams Oshomole when he was the chairman of APC. It got to a point that even Adam Oshomole knew himself that he doesn't have the support of the party. But he kept on holding on, holding on. And it started from the word. You remember what happened, where he started from. His problem started from this. Those that initiated it started from his own, and that's how what happens. He started from his words, and where they now expelled him, this and that, then it's snowballing. He thought it was a joke. It now snowballed into what, and before he knew it, he was out of the bed. If the powers that be within the party say they no longer want you, there's practically nothing you can do. It's just unfortunate that Labour Party just have one governorship, one governor. If for other political parties like PDP or APC, the governors will sit and decide that Abure today you will leave, and you will leave. There is nothing you have to do about it. More so when they have the backing of, if it's a party in power that have the backing of the president, then you are gone. So the on issue of he has been calling them all sorts of names, but we come to realize that I've said it time with a number. Nobility is ability to be able to read the handwriting on the wall and just honorably take it. What will he lose? This is a man that has made so much money. BK, you know. This man...
I've not seen his bank account.
If you follow this, if you follow what was it the treasurer, that lady in God, whatever they call, what she said, most of the things that she has said have not been denied by Buhari. Just say, I'll take you to court and the rest of them. Now, the fact remains that even within the party, the account of that party has not been audited to a large extent. In fact, before you have a convention, the audit, there must be an audit of that. The audited, the audit of that has even to be sent to INEC because INEC keeps that record. INEC didn't attend. He moved around, and finally went, and he was strategic in his, he took it to Peter Obi State of Anambra.
All the big people didn't attend.
Look at, even this one, this particular one that we just watched, now you see all the big people in Labour. They are there. The only person I didn't see there is Peter Obi and the governor of Abia State. But every other person that matters, in his own, you see those hanging at the back, no single person that I know, not. And you ask yourself, what political weight does Abure have as an individual? So, but it is quite unfortunate for me because this is a party, this is the time we need a very strong opposition.
Right.
Very, very strong opposition.
Right.
Either the PDP, a lot of people have lost faith with PDP. So the alternative for so many people now, especially the younger one, is Labour Party. And they started it with the last, look at the vote that Peter Obi got at the last election. Nobody ever removed Peter Obi from Labour Party. It's just the carcass, in as much as they want to say whatever they want. And what they did now to give him, you know, they now say, we are giving you the presidential, the presidential ticket for 27. When you, Abure doesn't even know whether you live to see 20. It's true now. Let me give you a classic example. Today, an Oba in Lagos attended a prayer. And after leaving that prayer, he died. The Osolo of Isolo.
Right.
He died this afternoon.
Right.
So nobody can predict what will happen tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So I don't know why our people continue holding on to power at the end of it. But if it's to the benefit of the people and the people they serve, then you give. Politics is about giving and taking.
Absolutely.
You don't just stand and say, no, you see, this and that. But let's wait and see how this pans out.
Well,
but the fact we have to establish is that it's the NLC that registered Labour Party.
Right, now that's where we have to leave this discussion and quickly go on a very quick break. You're still on to Journalist Hangout. We'll have more discussions coming in just a moment. Just stay with us.
To pay the money for the recruitment consultancy you did for my company. Beautiful. I took 2 million.
Just hold on. I now collect dollars.
What?
Yes. I don't understand what's happening to Naira these days. So it's going to be 2 million times today's exchange rate.
Doctor, wait. Doctor, wait. Don't tell me you are one of those people who directly put pressure on the Naira and make it lose its value. You want to dollarize our economy and yet you pretend as if you don't know what is happening to the Naira. I've told you about how you abuse the Naira by spraying and stamping on it during your occasions. You deface and abuse the Naira as if it's not our national asset.
But you can't take it easy.
How? I will not take it easy. And neither will the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission Task Force on Currency Abuse and Forex Malpractice take it easy with you. They are coming for you. Desist from economic sabotage or you will face the wrath of.
Now to the chagrin of naysayers and doomsday prophets, the Naira has continued to appreciate in value against international currencies, especially the dollar. In a viral video, the founder of the General Overseer of Omega Fire Ministries International, Apostle Johnson Sulaiman, has berated some Nigerians that are not always happy with the country's progress. Speaking on the appreciation of the value of the Naira against the dollar, Apostle Sulaiman wondered why such people are only after bad news. Let's hear from him.
When the dollar was up, we all shouted. The dollar is down now. Did you hear anybody say anything? You love evil. People that love evil. Those are the people. You see, most people who are crying that they want change in Nigeria don't want change. Dollar went up, you made noise. Dollar came down, you are quiet. Because you wanted somebody to be president. I voted somebody. I wanted somebody to be president. Who I wanted was not the person who became president. But election has ended. Election has ended. Are we still doing election? Can't you rest?
Thank you, my friend.
How come life has moved or you are the only one that can't move?
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
Are you what I'm talking about?
Thank you, Jesus.
You are complaining that leaders are not doing well. They have power, so they bully. You have data, you bully. Because the person you wanted to win didn't win, so Nigeria should scatter. What kind of person are you? You want things to be bad so that you can say we said so. What kind of country is that? Country where there are bullies. Bullies. Nigeria will be great again.
Quieter. Revelation there, BK, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, in fact, it's exactly the way I feel about these evil people. Anyone who doesn't want Nigeria to make progress is an evil person. And evil will not be far away from that person's home. If you wish your country, the country of your birth, evil, you will use your own head to carry that evil. It's as simple as that. People don't understand. When you wish evil for your country, it's the ordinary man that suffers the most. It's not the people in Aso Rock. Engage your brain, for God's sake. They don't want to see good things happen to us as a country. When did we become like this? Why is it that it is toxic blood that is flowing in the veins of some people? The same people, there's a particular publication that some people, when they see now, they jump, they believe it. That publication projected that Nigeria will, that Naira will go to 3,000 to $1. The same publication is telling us now, they are using foreign reserve to defend the Naira. They are peddling ignorance all over the place and people believe. Because it sits well with them to project evil. I've never seen this kind of people in my life. And I thank Pastor Apostle Joshua Suleiman. I don't always agree with him. Many times I don't agree with him. In fact, most men of God, I don't agree with them most of the time. But on this one, and on the matter of my country, I agree absolutely, and I give him
100%.
See, salute. You know,
terrible.
The military salute, there are different types. There's this one, there's this one.
Which
I give him this
one.
one.
You give him?
This one. I give him this one. Ask a soldier the meaning of this.
Oh dear. And you know, it's something that really we've been talking about, but it goes beyond just talk. Yeah. There should be action. If at all we want to correct some anomalies, some regulations and some sanctions should be, meted on such things, don't you think?
Yes, there is time for politicking and there's time for building. Politics is over. This is time to build. And it's not far-fetched. You take this from other parts of the world. Once the United States finish the election and a president is elected, every other person rallying. Don't use Donald Trump as an example. Donald Trump is not an example of what I'm talking about. But you see all that. There'll be so many instances where you see, in fact, there was a particular video I was watching the other day. I saw 3 former presidents of different parties, of the United States, the 3 of them, sitting together, having an interview. I was shocked. 3 of them sitting together and having. So, for me, this is not the time for us to start pulling and pulling down. I said it earlier before, and I said, whatever you say. And this resonates, what resonates with me is what exactly what Mr. Onyema of Airpeace said on the day that they met with the president during one of the iftars. And he said, I've played my part by making sure that we are going on this route to this thing. And I've reduced the price of airfare to UK. That has crashed the price of that. He now told his colleagues from other sectors also, please play your part too, so that Nigerians can feel that impact. That is that for me.
Right.
You understand what I mean? So I totally agree with him. The dollar is going down. Let us When they are doing well, let us say. When they are not doing well, it is also within our duty to also tell them they are not doing well.
And also when they are peddling rumors.
You don't need to even praise
should
them.
know how to
if you like, don't praise them. But don't be unhappy when good things happen.
So that, let me tell you, not even praising. When you say the truth,
right,
it encourages those there to do more. It's basic now. It's basic. Look at what is happening. By Monday, the Nigerian police is going to have an award for the first time for Nigerian police men. And some people say, why would I? I say it is to encourage all the other bad ones that have been doing all sorts of this thing to be able to do it. So I totally agree with the apostle. Just as Jide say, I don't always agree with him on so many things, but this one,
you agree with
I agree with him.
In totality.
You are giving us another one.
Salute.
Right, let's quickly move on to our next discussion, where the essence of democracy is to bring governance and development closer to the grassroots. And that was the focus of the chairman of Emohua local government area of Rivers State, Chidi Lloyd. And to mark 3 years in office as the council chairman, Lloyd inaugurated several projects in the area. In this Journalist Hangout midweek special, TVC News' Nelson Etta examines some of these projects. Let's share the story with you.
Chidi Julius Lloyd is the 6th executive chairman of Emohua local government area of Rivers State, South Nigeria. Emohua is an oil-rich farming council area located in the south-central part of Rivers State. Created in 1991 with 14 political wards, Emohua local government area is made up of several towns and villages. Since its creation, Emohua local government area has experienced various levels of development under different council chairmen. But according to the people of Emohua, the developmental impact of Chidi Julius Lloyd, the 6th council chairman, stands out.
We are here seeing you turning the entire local government area to a working environment. I also see you as somebody who can go outside the normal in order to do things possible.
The size of shoe that time was referring to one like size 9. What I'm seeing here, what all of you are seeing, I'm showing that size 13. That's the size we are talking about.
He came and changed all this. Started from providing good laboratory and convenience for the people providing health facilities for the people, so that the vaccines can be stored in good temperature, and making sure that health workers have comfort in the environment. And deciding also that in order to make sure this place has a good facelift, provide the secretariat for them.
Upon assumption of office 3 years ago, the chairman of Emohua met a dilapidated and non-functional council secretariat.
The first thing I did when I started was give an account of my stewardship, because I see myself as a servant of the people. They gave me everybody, because it is not possible for everybody from Emohua local government to preside over the affairs of the council. So it was structured in a way that from time to time, some persons are elected to administer the business of council. So I'm only privileged to be one person at this time. And I think that I'm responsible to them.
Before we came, this place was bush with some small buildings that were sprouting, small things that were laid in the bush. It's like a farmhouse that was managed by an illiterate farmer without any due cause to modernization.
Today, the story is different. Emohua local government secretariat now wears a whole new look. The 3-year tenure of Chidi Julius Lloyd as chairman of Emohua local government area witnessed an unprecedented infrastructure and human capital development. These include effective healthcare, enhanced security, technology development, road construction, good water and power supply, staff and workers' accountability, efficient local government administration, quick dispensation of justice, improved internally generated revenue, and cutting costs of governance.
I must confess that the chairman is doing a lot in Emohua local government area compared to other LGAs that have been working. You know, the others, most of them, in short, apart from Port Harcourt City, that has a primary healthcare authority, that is a building of their own. I don't think I've seen any other LGA that has an authority like this one that we have in Emohua here.
We've also provided call rooms for medical doctors because we want the facility to run on a 24-hour basis so that at all times there will be a doctor that will attend to our people. And the MOH, as they are fondly called, has an office today in council, cozy office, air-conditioned office. But I don't have. The chairman of council doesn't have an office yet because I decided that all of these aspects were key. We are about commissioning a 350 capacity ICT hub, which we intend to link to JAM, WAEC, and NECO, so that all computer-based exams can be written in that facility. Then the council in turn rakes in revenue. And like I've told them at different fora, I didn't come to enrich myself. Because nobody who comes to enrich himself will embark on the kind of projects, iconic projects that we are doing.
The leadership of Chidi Lloyd has become the new standard for local government administration in Emohua and River State in general.
You know, there's a difference between you wanting to work for the people and then thinking of your pocket. If you are desirous of working for the people, if you are determined to work for the people, if you are decisive to work for the people, if you don't have to be distracted by the views of those who want to share money, you will do a wonderful thing for the people.
After years of faithful stewardship, his people are calling on him to return for another 3 years and complete some of the projects he began, especially the main council secretariat building, which is 70% completed.
When you say, I'm leaving today, I'm leaving tomorrow, we don't know yet. Your tenure has no year ended. Wait now before you say, I'm going. Wait first. Let's finish the tenure before you know whether you are going or you're not going. Is that not so?
I think this Chidi has not exhausted what he has in his brain. He has not. So it will be my own likeness and the people of Emohua, from what you are seeing, to ask him to stay for another 3 years so that we can benefit from what he has upstairs.
But how does the chairman of Emohua local government area feel?
Very proud. I think I've even exceeded what I thought I would have done. I would leave a very, very happy person.
At the end of the day, it can be said that Emohua has been in safe hands under the management of Chidi Lloyd. It then behoves whoever succeeds him to double what he has been able to achieve. But as for Chidi Julius Lloyd, he looks forward to a more prosperous Emohua and indeed River State.
Indeed, looking forward to a more prosperous Emohua and indeed River State. BKO, your thoughts on this and your expectations, and of course how to sustain the project taken off by Chidi Lloyd?
Yes, I'm particularly pleased with the ICT Center, the road projects. If we had more time, we would have seen a lot more. Right. But for a local government to even embark on some of what he has embarked on, that's what we've always wanted. Let governors give local governments the latitude to even grow at their own pace, not to be tampering with funds made for local government. give them a level of independence so that they can do a lot for our people at the grassroots. You can see even the sports center. You can see the doctors' lodge that I built so that they have the primary health care authority, you know, in that local government. And we have the primary health centers, and as well as the doctors' lodge, so that they can work 24 hours. That's how a local government chairman is thinking. Chidi Lloyd has done well, and we can only encourage other local government chairmen
to do more.
To do more. I believe the sky is the limit, and if he chooses to contest the second time, I'm sure his people will be willing to let him get another shake of the dice.
Indeed. CKN, your final thoughts on this before we move to the next issue?
Yes, it's very impressive. This is the first time for a very long time I'm seeing such magnitude in terms of infrastructure development in a local government. Some governors have not even done what this man have done. And I'm surprised to hear it because the last time I heard of Chidi, Honorable Chidi, was in the House of Assembly, was in the State House of Assembly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Off your mic.
Up with the, you know this.
Off your mic.
Off your mic. Well, Chidi is saying it. So, but I didn't know he's now is local government. And that is what we say. He moved from State House of Assembly and went back to the local government where he came from. That is what most of our leaders don't do. Rather, they want to move from House of Assembly, State House, to be a senator. But he went back to serve his people and see what he has delivered. And to even make it more just, the biggest local government in Rivers State is Obiakpo. And that is where you have more of the money coming. So I continue to wonder where he got the money from. And that is why we should also praise the governor of the state, whichever one he came from, including this one, who must have given him the opportunity to be able to do what he's doing. Because most of the money that are meant for the local government, they take the governors don't allow them to get it. They just give them stipends, give them 200,000, 500,000 monthly. He cannot use 500,000 to be able to do what he has done.
In a nutshell.
So, yes, in a nutshell, I commend him, and this should be a litmus task for others around him. And just as he said, if there's any second time I show this man, is look at the police station.
Yes,
that police station.
Even the quality of those projects.
That is one of the best, the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful police stations I ever. I'm sure Tunji Disu, who is the commissioner of police, our friend in Rivers, will be glad to see what is going on. Congratulations to him.
Indeed, and let's hope for more to come in Rivers State. Well, let's quickly move on to our next issue of focus. Well, we're discussing sports, and the 16-year wait is over. And the Super Falcons of Nigeria will fly to Paris for the 2024 Olympics at the expense of South Africa. And after recording a 1-0 victory in Abuja, the Nigerian girls held Bayana to a goalless draw in Pretoria to book a spot in Paris. The qualification means the 11-time African champions will participate at the Olympics for the first time since Beijing 2008. PKO, how glad are you about this? Because it's a really, a great news for the Super Falcons and, of course, for Nigeria.
Yeah, these South Africans believe these days that we are their mates. In fact, they are now from trying to see themselves as our mates. They've now begun to see themselves as superior to us. Otherwise, in football, South Africa should not be able to stand where Nigeria stands, But the truth is, many countries are catching up in the game of soccer with Nigeria, and you can see we dominated women football for years. Now, the South Africans have beaten us. Before this game, the Aisha Buhari trophy, they beat us here in Lagos. They took the trophy away. They also beat us in the African Women Championship. So we initially, I expected that this match would be tough, but thank God we won the first leg in Abuja. And our guests, led by the talented Chiamaka, the goalkeeper, we stopped them from scoring. We could have won the match, you can see Chiamaka there. We could have won the match in the first half, but we missed many chances. And then they came in, put us under pressure in the second half. But Chiamaka, who plays for Paris FC, you know, in France, stood firm and ensured that she didn't concede any goal. It's a beautiful feeling for us to be at the Olympics, and it underlines the fact that we are
a tough team to beat.
Top team in Africa. Look at even individual players. We are the best in Africa, you know. So we have every reason to be at the Olympics after so many years. I'm sure this generation of players that you have never went to the Olympics. Some of the greatest female football players that we had, they couldn't go to the Olympics. But these ones now, Rashida Tajibade and her team, they are going to the Olympics, and I believe they are going to give a good account of themselves.
Giving a good account of themselves. CKN, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I could see the way you are smiling. the way you started.
They're my agenda. I have to support them.
Yes, I could see the smile on your face when you were making that. Yes, sincerely, I watched the match yesterday. Despite the fact there was a Champions League, 2 Champions League matches going on, and I knew where BK stood on that Champions League. I was following him on social media. And the team he was supporting that yesterday. But they gave a good account of themselves.
Right.
They were very disciplined.
Right.
The South Africans were on the attack, but there was a tactical belief on their part. And we have to give it to the coach, their coach. He did a good job by making sure that we not only defend, but also attack. Because the problem with most nations is that after that one goal, they want to go and defend that one goal in South Africa. And by those, they bombard you. That was part of the mistake we made at African Nations Cup. Now, but they were so tactical, and at the end of it all, they won. But that is one. But where the problem is coming is that the draw is out. We are in the same group with Brazil. We are in the same group with Spain, that is the defending world champion, and one other country. I hope that we'll be able to hold our own. As we said, 16 years, they've not been to about 3. We've not been to about 3 Olympics. It used to be our birthright. Every time Nigeria will definitely go. You know, we won the African championship for over about 7 or 8 times on the road. So the only people that have matched us to South Africa maybe twice, Cameroon, and probably which another Equatorial Guinea. And that was all. It was like BK, correct me if I'm wrong. Flying Eagles of those days. Remember our Flying Eagles? Flying Eagles for about 5 editions we are winning the African Cup.
Yeah.
At any given point in time. And that was the breeding ground for the Super Eagles of those days.
Yes.
But we lost it. What I need to say is that we need to go back to grassroots football. Because look at our under-17, for goodness sake. We knew what happened in 1985. When we were the first we were the first country in the world to win the under-17 FIFA World Cup in China. It's true. And we have won it about 3 or 4 times. So all the best to these young ladies, and I hope that we encourage them just as we've been encouraging the male team. Because what happened at the end of it, so they come back, they will just give them bonus $1,000, and they go. Yes, the same. If you look at what is happening in the U.S. now, there's no longer disparity between the male and female teams in the U.S. as it were, and that has been it. So, congratulations to Super Falcons.
All right. So, your final thoughts on this, PKO? What the team should do to ensure?
I want the team, the coach, to improve on our scoring ability.
Right.
You know, we need to really work on that. Uche Nakalu should have scored in the first half, but we missed chances. That is the problem of this team. They are very solid in defending. The midfield is tight, but the scoring is a big problem. If not for that, we will have beaten England in the World Cup. You know, and England went all the way to the final. So this team has potential. If we can improve on the goal scoring part, this will be a world-class team.
Indeed, a world-class team, and let's hope the best from our Super Falcons. So that's where we wrap today's episode of Journalist Hangout. Let me thank, as usual, my fellow colleagues in the studio, BKO, Babajide Kolade Otitoju, and Chris Kende Wandu. Thank you as well for always bringing your thoughts on the program.
Viewers.
Barakadasala indeed. Well, that's about it, folks, on today's episode. Remember, you can watch a repeat broadcast tonight at 11. Join us again on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. We are also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Esther Mapariola. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.